Good morning from Gili Air, everyone. It's Hanifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I wanted to talk about what I love to talk about is about how similar we all are. And when I say we all, of course, I've talked about different cities, different countries, different families, different cultures, different religions, different color. We know these things inherently. We're aware that people are all the same, and of course there's also an extension of that as to consciousness in every living being is the same. So I thought I'd start with this quotation today, and it says what we observe is not nature itself, but nature exposed to our method of questioning. Nature exposed to our method of questioning. Now, many of us are pretty unconscious with how we interact with the world around us. So we're not really even questioning because we think we know everything. And of course, that's an ego property. But if we think about how people treat their pets, and you see this beautiful horse that just went by, this is actually the reason for that actual example. I notice here people have horses to do work. And of course, dogs originally were intended for certain jobs too. And in North America, and I suspect a lot of the world, we've started looking at dogs as an extension of us, of our family. And we treat them many times, most times, quite nicely. Here I do see that I feel the energy of whether plants or whether animals, certainly these horses. And I notice that they're not getting the same attention. They're a means to an end. It's a job that they do, and that's certainly not respecting the same consciousness in the horse, which horses are very intelligent creatures too. And if we are, we look at everything as an extension of ourselves. And today I wanted to make sure that we see this, that our method of questioning. So questioning is, do I understand you? So of course we try to understand, many of us try to understand our pets, that, oh, I know that sound that they make means that they're not feeling well. Or I know this signal is that they're really happy. So wagging tail or, really straight tail on a dog can tell us the difference between whether they're really happy or really scared or angry or alert. And it's only because we care enough to ask ourselves, do we understand the other? And of course, the other is just like ourselves, that it's looking for safety, it's looking for love, it's looking for compassion. And that would mean that there is no other, we're all the same. I thought I'd share this quotation too. And it tells us something about quantum physics for those of you that are more scientifically minded. This one says, quantum physics tells us that nothing that is observed is unaffected by the observer. That statement from science holds an enormous and powerful insight. It means that everyone sees a different truth because everyone is creating what they see. Everyone is creating what they see. So if I look at something and I think, wow, this is an extension of me, that becomes an extension of me. If I say that's different than me, so I don't have to really care for it, and that doesn't have the same emotions or feelings or experiences I do, or I'm better than that, which is again all ego statements, that doesn't allow me to care for something else, anything else, a plant, a food, the food that we're eating, to have the respect for the food for it, to recognize that it's giving us a life, and then certainly people. People, we can see that even in very close-knit families, oftentimes people feel that they already know each other. And there isn't really a questioning, and oftentimes not even an opening for the space of questioning or reflecting or speaking from a compassionate and loving space. And when those spaces are created, whether with something that is inanimate or whether something that is animate, and I definitely say that working with life is very satisfying. So whether we're looking at trees or flowers, and I love my flowers, the universe's flowers that I do get to appreciate, I'm appreciative for those flowers. I'm appreciative for the people. I'm appreciative for this land. That is what I'm looking through. So I also thought I'd mention that measurement itself is very interesting when we look at it. So when I measure something, I compare it to, again, how my mind would reflect on the value of something. And so I thought I'd share this quotation to finish with. This says, measurement, the definition, a quantitatively expressed reduction of uncertainty based on one or more observations. One or more observations. So when I say this is so big, let's say I'm looking at water. I'm sure there's a lot of men that would like to hear that line. But in any case, if I just say this is so big, it would be comparing in my mind a measurement that I've got for something. So I could say that the steak I had the other day was so big, or I could say that this table is so big, and another person would compare the same things with their own measurements and say, well, no, I think actually that's kind of small for a table. I think that I would need a bigger space, or something like that. It's something that we already know. And remember that infinite energy allows us to see things from so many perspectives. So then when two perspectives are quantitatively measuring, it's those one or more observations, and those two observations can come together and say, yeah, it is a good size, but it could be bigger, and this would allow this much more to be placed on it. That sort of idea. And so now when we measure with each other, recognize that our measurements of each other is what we compare to our own experiences, and we also compare to other people's experiences, because when we share our information, I already have a feeling of this is my measurement of whatever, the value of something, the importance of something, the nature of something. It's based on my experience, and when I compare it with another and they say something different, it takes an open mind to put those two together and say, yeah, those are two different ways and both are correct. So today, I encourage us all to think about how we measure things and whether we can see that we actually do create what we see with how we think about things. And it's truth for everyone in terms of what kind of lens they're looking through. Today, I encourage you to look at your lens and expand your awareness to incorporate and understand and accept other lenses. I wish you a fantastic day today, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day or night, everyone.